Your heart races each morning when you remember the life you want, but see the same old routine. You feel tension in your chest and taste the fear that nothing will change. Have you ever wondered why some days feel stuck before they even begin? In this video, you will learn how to build daily habits that push you toward your dreams, step by step. You will hear strategies that work in your life and see examples of small changes that lead to lasting results. We will confront the hard truth about consistency and explore why discipline matters more than motivation. You will feel the energy of taking control and see how simple actions add up to big transformation. If you are ready to fight for your dream life and break free from old patterns, then stay with me until the end and take your first step toward real change. Number 1, build daily habits that support your biggest life goals. You know what's painful? Waking up every morning with a dream in your heart, but a life that doesn't match it. Watching others live with purpose while you settle for less. Not because you're not capable, but because somewhere along the way you stopped demanding more from yourself. You got used to the routine, comfortable with just enough. But deep down, you know you were meant for something bigger. And I'm here to tell you, it's not talent that separates those who make it from those who don't. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's discipline. The kind that shapes your choices, your actions, and eventually, your life. You've got to build daily habits that support the life you say you want. Nothing changes until you do. Discipline is not about punishing yourself. It's about loving yourself enough to do the hard things. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when it's cold outside. Even when no one is watching. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't wait to feel motivated. You do it because you said you would. That's how you start building trust with yourself again. That's how you get out of that quiet frustration that eats away at you every time you scroll past another success story, wishing it was yours. It begins the moment you stop lying to yourself. Stop saying tomorrow. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die. What you do today is what writes your future. You want a better body, better finances, better relationships, better peace of mind. Look at your habits. Are they helping you or hurting you? Are they moving you closer or keeping you stuck? Change is not a giant leap. It's the little things, done right every single day. Discipline means making the bed even when you're tired. It means reading when you'd rather scroll. It means saving a portion of your paycheck, even if it's small. It means waking up early when your body says sleep in. These things seem small, but they are not. They are how you take back your power. These small wins, they add up. They stack. And one day, you wake up and realize you're not the same person anymore. You're sharper, stronger, more in control. And that confidence, it shows up in every part of your life. But here's the truth most people avoid. You can't keep living like your time is unlimited. You can't keep putting off your growth, hoping it just clicks someday. Time moves with or without your permission. And if you don't build the right habits now, you'll pay for it later with regret, missed chances, and a life that could have been so much more. Don't think discipline is harsh. Living with regret, that's harsh. Living a life that doesn't reflect who you really are, that's a burden you don't want to carry. You want to be proud of yourself, then give yourself reasons to be proud. Show up even when it's hard. Push through even when it's uncomfortable. Everyone wants the dream, but not everyone wants the discipline. That's why few people ever get there. Discipline doesn't just give you results. It gives you freedom. It gives you pride. It gives you your life back. Stop hoping for motivation and start becoming the kind of person who moves without it. That's power. That's how you start creating your dream life. Not fantasizing about it, not waiting for the perfect moment, but building it brick by brick with your habits. Your dream isn't coming to find you. You have to build the structure that invites it in. And it starts by doing what needs to be done, even when it's not exciting. Because here's something most people miss. Boredom is part of success. Repetition is how you get good. Mastery isn't built on passion alone. It's built on discipline. The kind that keeps showing up long after the excitement wears off. You want results? Then act like it. You want success? Then move like someone who deserves it. Look at your schedule. Look at your diet. Look at your mindset. If none of those things reflect the life you say you want, then it's time for a change. And not a someday change. A now change. You've got to learn to delay what feels good now for what feels right long term. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're telling yourself, I matter. My future matters. My dream matters. And that changes the way you see yourself. That changes how you walk into a room. That changes how the world responds to you. The person you admire, they didn't get there by accident. They showed up every day, especially when they didn't feel like it. They stayed late, said no to distractions, and pushed themselves through the plateaus. That's not magic. That's discipline. And if they can do it, so can you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You just need to choose better, one decision at a time. Make your life the result of discipline, not excuses. Every day you skip what you know you need to do, you push your dream further away. But every day you stick to your plan, no matter how small the step, you bring it closer. The life you want isn't waiting on anyone else. It's waiting on you to get serious, to get clear, to start acting like it matters. Because it does. You've got one life, and every day that passes is a day you don't get back. So what are you doing with it? What are you building? What do your habits say about who you are and where you're going? You can either fight for your dream, or you can settle for whatever's left. But if you want more, and I know you do, it starts with discipline. It starts with doing what most won't. It starts with acting like your future depends on what you do today. Because it does. So ask yourself this, right now, what's one habit I can build today that supports the life I dream of? Not tomorrow. Today. Pick it, do it, and repeat it tomorrow. Then the next day. And again, that's how transformation begins. Not with huge gestures, but with discipline. Quiet, daily, focused discipline. Because if you don't fight for your dream, no one else will. And if you don't change your habits, your dream will stay a wish. You were made for more than just surviving. But you'll never live that more until your actions match your desires. So start now. Start small. Start real and never stop. That's the road. That's the life. And it's yours to build. Number 2, confront your fears head on to unlock hidden potential. Most people don't live the life they want because they're too afraid to face the one thing standing in the way themselves. Not the world, not their job, not their past. The real wall is the fear they've been avoiding for years. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. And every time they turn away from it, they give up a little more control, a little more power. Until one day they look around and wonder why life feels so small, why nothing feels exciting anymore. But I'll tell you the truth, and it's not soft, it's raw. Your breakthrough begins the moment you stop running. The minute you stare that fear in the face and say, I'm not backing down this time. You were not born to tiptoe through life. You were not put here to stay comfortable. Comfort has never created anything powerful. If you want to unlock what's inside you, what you've always felt was there but never knew how to reach, you have to confront what scares you most. That's the door. It won't move. It won't disappear. It'll stay there until you walk through it. And the longer you wait, the heavier it becomes. You have to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself the questions you've been avoiding. What's the thing that keeps me playing small? What conversation have I been too scared to have? What decision have I been putting off? What opportunity did I reject because I didn't feel ready? That word ready. has become a trap. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll never take the leap. Because fear doesn't just vanish on its own. You have to make the move while you're still afraid. There is power inside you that you haven't touched yet, because fear has been blocking the door. Not because you're weak, but because you've been taught to avoid the discomfort. Society has trained you to run from what feels uncertain, to chase security, to stay in line, to play by rules that were never designed to unlock your greatness. But what if you rewrote the script? What if you leaned into that fear instead of hiding from it? What if you faced it directly? Not tomorrow, but today. You've probably had moments where something in your gut told you to take a chance, to say something, to step up, but you hesitated. And that hesitation felt safe at the time, but later it turned into regret. That tight feeling in your chest, that restlessness, that sense of something missing. It's not random. It's the cost of ignoring your courage. You don't get stronger by avoiding the fire. You grow by stepping into it with your eyes open and your heart committed. Courage isn't loud. It's not some superhero move. Sometimes courage is simply raising your hand in a room where you feel invisible. Sometimes it's sending that message, applying for the job, having that honest talk with someone who matters. Courage is walking into the unknown and saying, even if I fall, I'd rather try than live with the question of what could have been. That's how you reclaim your power. That's how you unlock the parts of you that you haven't even met yet. The reason you feel stuck isn't because you're lazy or broken. It's because you're afraid. And the only way out is through. You don't get to level up without facing the part of yourself you've been hiding from. Maybe it's the fear of being judged. Maybe it's the fear of being misunderstood. Maybe it's the fear of finding out you're not who you think you are. But whatever it is, you're stronger than it. You are. You just haven't proven it to yourself yet. And the only way to do that is by taking the step. Not perfectly, not fearlessly, just honestly. One real step forward. The people you look up to, the ones you admire, they all had to confront something terrifying to become who they are now. They didn't skip that part. They didn't fast forward through the fear. They faced it. They walked through the anxiety. They took the hit. They learned from it. They got back up. And the reward wasn't just success. It was self-respect. It was knowing deep in their bones that they didn't let fear win. So what would happen if today was the day you finally said, I'm done being controlled by this? What would happen if you took action even while your voice shook, even while your hands trembled? What would happen if you did the thing anyway? Not to impress anyone, but to free yourself from the prison of doubt. Because that's what fear really is, a prison. And every time you obey it, the walls get tighter. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to wait for the perfect plan. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need to decide that your life is too valuable to let fear keep driving. That's the beginning of everything. That's where growth starts. That's where strength gets built. You step into it. You mess up. You adjust. You get stronger. And suddenly, things that used to scare you don't have the same power anymore. Why? Because you took your power back. You want to feel alive again. Face what you've been running from. Face the conversation you've avoided. Face the challenge that keeps you up at night. Because it's not going away. But neither are you. And if you want to get out of this loop, this repeating cycle of frustration, hesitation, and regret, you've got to decide that fear doesn't get to be the driver anymore. You do. And don't fool yourself. This isn't about being fearless. That's a myth. It's about doing what matters, even when you're scared. Especially when you're scared. Because that fear you feel, it's not a stop sign. It's a signal. It's pointing toward the thing that will make you stronger, wiser, bolder. That feeling in your chest before you take the leap, that's what growth feels like. Don't mistake it for danger. It's the sign that you're alive, that you're on the edge of becoming more. No one is coming to face your fear for you. No one else can unlock your potential. That's your job, and it's a job worth doing. It's the job that changes your life. But it doesn't start tomorrow. It starts when you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm done hiding. I'm done settling. I'm done letting fear choose for me. You owe it to yourself to live a full life, a life where you speak your truth, a life where you take the chances that matter, a life where you're not held back by a story that says, I can't, because you can. You just have to prove it to yourself. And you do that by acting, not by thinking about it, not by watching more videos, by stepping forward and facing what you've been avoiding. You're stronger than you think. You've just been playing it safe for too long. But today can be different. Today you can confront the fear, take the step, and start becoming the version of you that's been waiting all along. So stop waiting, start moving, and never forget, your power lives on the other side of fear. Number 3, commit to small wins every day and feel progress. Most people never get the life they want because they wait for something big to happen before they start moving. They wait for the right moment, the perfect plan, the breakthrough that changes everything. But here's the truth most don't want to admit. Your life will not change in one giant leap. It will change the moment you decide to show up and win a little each day. Not once. Not when it's easy. Every single day. Because small wins are not small at all. They are the hidden power behind every great transformation. You want progress? Do you want to feel like you're finally moving forward? Stop chasing perfection. Start chasing momentum. Real, steady, visible momentum. And that starts with one task done, one goal hit, one choice made, day by day. You build a powerful life by stacking small wins on top of each other until the weight of your consistency is too heavy to ignore. That's how real change happens. Not in noise, but in discipline. Think about it. What if you woke up tomorrow and didn't try to conquer the entire mountain, but just climbed one step with purpose? What if you didn't beat yourself up for not being there yet, but stayed locked in on doing what you can right now with what you have? That's not weakness, that's strategy. That's control. That's ownership of your future. And ownership changes everything. You're not as far as you could be because your mind keeps skipping steps. It jumps ahead and sees the big dream, then looks at where you are, and it gets overwhelmed. That feeling of being stuck, it doesn't come from a lack of talent. It comes from a lack of focus on the step that's right in front of you. The path is built in inches, not miles. You don't need to move fast. You need to move forward. And the smallest movement in the right direction beats standing still waiting for courage. I've seen it over and over. People tell me they want a better life. They want purpose. They want power. They want peace. And I ask them, what did you win at today? Most don't know. They've been so focused on what they didn't do, what they don't have, where they're falling short. And that's why they feel stuck. They don't count their progress. They don't celebrate the step. They don't acknowledge the fact that today they said no to something harmful. Today they showed up to work on time. Today they pushed through the excuses and got one thing done. But let me tell you something. That's how winners are made. That's how confidence is built. That's how a scattered life becomes a focused one. One small win at a time. You can't fake consistency. You can't trick yourself into self-respect. You earn it. And the way you earn it is by doing the thing you said you'd do, even when no one's watching. That private victory, that quiet discipline, that small decision to not break the promise to yourself, that's what starts to rewrite your story. That's what turns chaos into clarity. That's what brings momentum into a life that's felt like it's been going in circles. So what's your win today? What can you walk away from the day proud of? Not what you wanted to do, not what's still on the list. What did you do? What did you follow through on? If your answer is nothing, that's not failure. That's feedback. That's the moment to choose differently, to not wait for tomorrow, to not promise yourself someday, because you've done that before and it hasn't worked. The change starts now, and it doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be real. You want to feel progress? Then stop waiting to feel motivated and start moving. Discipline creates the energy you're looking for. Action creates belief. And the fastest way to rebuild your confidence is to keep a promise to yourself daily. Doesn't matter how small. If it matters to you, it counts. You drank water instead of soda? That's a win. You read 5 pages instead of scrolling? That's a win. You turned off your phone and worked for 30 minutes straight? That's a win. Stack those. Count them. Celebrate them. Because those are the bricks that build a new you. I've watched lives change not from sudden miracles, but from daily decisions. A man starts walking every morning. A woman starts journaling for 5 minutes at night. Someone else starts saying no to the things that used to distract them. These are not headlines. These are habits. And habits shape futures. Not overnight, but surely, always. There's something inside you that wants to be proud of your life, that wants to feel like you're building something. But that part of you only wakes up when you give it evidence. You give it something to hold on to. When your actions start aligning with your values, your brain catches up. It starts believing, not because of hype, but because of history. You start becoming the kind of person who finishes things, who follows through, who grows. And that's not just motivating, it's powerful. The small wins matter because they're real. You can feel them. You can see them. They remind you that you're in motion. They give you something solid in a world that keeps pulling you in every direction. And the truth is, once you start stacking wins, you stop needing so much outside validation. You stop craving recognition because you've got something deeper. You've got self-respect. Don't underestimate what one focused day can do. Don't laugh at the idea of tiny progress. Every big life was once built out of daily decisions that no one noticed. While others were complaining, some people were showing up. While others made excuses, some were checking the box, quietly, consistently, powerfully. You have that same ability. You have the same chance every morning to write a new story. And the story doesn't need to be loud. It needs to be true. It needs to be built on action, not intention. If you say you want more, show yourself. Not just today, every day. One win, then another, then another. That's how the momentum builds. That's how the days start to feel different. That's how you stop waking up tired of yourself, because you're not letting yourself down anymore. You're becoming the kind of person you respect. And when you respect yourself, the whole world feels different. So start now. Pick one thing. Do it well. Finish it. Count it. And then do it again tomorrow. Because the life you want isn't out there waiting. It's built by the choices you make when no one's watching. And the most powerful choice you can make today is to win on purpose, no matter how small. Because small wins done daily will build a life you're proud of. Number 4, push through discomfort until you see real lasting change. If you only do what feels good, your life will stay exactly where it is. You don't grow from comfort. You grow from pressure. From pushing through when your mind says stop. From deciding that your excuses don't get the final say anymore. That decision changes everything. Because there's nothing comfortable about breaking patterns. There's nothing comfortable about showing up tired, stressed, unsure, and still doing the work anyway. But that's where the power is. That's the part most people avoid. And that's why most people never see lasting change. They want the result without the resistance. They want the success without the struggle. And life just doesn't work that way. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm here to tell you the truth. You will not build the life you dream of unless you're willing to feel uncomfortable. You will not develop new habits, fix your thinking, change your body, grow your income, or repair your relationships by staying safe. The road you want to walk is going to hurt a little. It's going to challenge you. You will want to quit. But the discomfort is not the problem. The discomfort is the proof. It proves you're in motion. It proves you're stepping into a different version of yourself. It proves you're no longer just talking. You're actually changing. Think about it. How many times have you started something and quit because it got hard? How many promises have you made to yourself in the heat of motivation only to drop them the moment discomfort showed up? And how long are you going to keep living that cycle before you finally say, this time I finish? Because it's not the pain that ruins people. It's the escape. It's the avoidance. It's the habit of backing off every time things get heavy. That's what kills progress. That's what destroys self-trust. And the only way to fix it is to push through. Change is supposed to feel unfamiliar. Growth is supposed to feel awkward. That's how you know you're not repeating the past. If it felt easy, it would mean you've already been there. But if it feels like a stretch, if it makes you doubt yourself, if it brings up resistance, you're on the edge of something real. And most people don't reach that edge because the moment it starts to burn, they back down. They think pain means something's wrong. But in truth, pain often means something is finally right. It means the old habits are dying. It means the weaker part of you is being replaced with someone stronger. It means your life is no longer running on autopilot. You want real change? Get ready to feel uncomfortable longer than you want to. That's the price. And it's not punishment. It's preparation. It's the universe asking, are you serious this time? And if you are, you show it with action. You show it by staying in the process, even when your mood fades, even when your energy dips, even when the results don't come fast enough. That's the real work. And that's the gap most people never cross. You have to get through the middle, the messy, slow, uncomfortable middle. That's the place where discipline replaces excitement. That's the place where you stop needing motivation and start relying on decisions. And it's in that stretch where you begin to earn your future. Not imagine it, not hope for it. Earn it. Because every single time you choose to keep going when you could have quit, you add something to your character. You build something inside that can't be faked. That grit, that edge, that power. You earn that by suffering a little. Not for the sake of pain, but for the sake of who you become through it. Your mind is going to fight you. It's going to try to protect you. That's what it's built for. But don't confuse protection with progress. You're not here to be safe. You're here to become someone who can handle more. And you don't get stronger by doing what's easy. You get stronger by proving to yourself over and over that you can show up when it counts, not when it's easy, when it counts. That's what discipline is. That's what freedom is built on. Discomfort is a test of how bad you want it, a test of how serious you are. Anyone can dream. Anyone can talk. Anyone can start. But who can stay with it when their body hurts, when their confidence slips, when the fear gets loud? That's what separates people. That's what creates winners. Not genetics, not luck, not talent. Just the simple, consistent ability to move forward through discomfort. You have a future version of yourself waiting on the other side of this season, but you don't get there by turning back. You don't get there by sitting around waiting to feel better. You get there by deciding discomfort is part of the process, that you're not afraid of being stretched, that you will not be defeated by the pain of becoming who you were meant to be. Every moment you choose to keep going adds weight to your identity. It sends a signal to your brain that you are not who you used to be. You are not soft. You are not weak. You are not fragile. You are focused. You are becoming dangerous in the best way. Because dangerous people are not the loudest. They're the ones who are still standing after the rest gave up. So what's it going to be? Another day wasted because it didn't feel good? Or a day added to your streak of showing up no matter what? Don't make it complicated. Just do the thing. Whether it's going to the gym, finishing that project, sticking to your word, cutting off distractions, do it. Feel the discomfort and do it anyway. That's the work that pays off. That's the work that makes you proud. And pride is something no one can hand you. You earn it. One hard day at a time. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress that sticks. And progress that sticks is built by people who are willing to feel uncomfortable longer than most. Not forever. Just long enough to change who they are. You'll know you're making progress, not when life gets easier, but when the hard parts don't scare you anymore. When you start to look discomfort in the face and say, I can handle this. That's the shift. That's the signal that you're moving from potential to power. You're going to be tired. You're going to feel doubt. You're going to want to quit. But don't. Stay in it. Push through. Because the life you dream of isn't built on what you start. It's built on what you finish. And the ones who finish are not the lucky ones. They are the ones who stayed uncomfortable long enough to see real change. This is your time. Don't waste it waiting for easy. Use it to become unshakable. Push through. Stand up. Keep going. And let the world feel what happens when you refuse to quit. Number 5. Set clear daily targets and pursue them with unwavering focus. Your life won't change until your focus becomes stronger than your distractions. If you want progress, you need direction. You can't keep waking up every morning hoping something good will happen. That's not a plan. That's not structure. That's just drifting. And drifting never builds anything. What you need is clarity. What you need is a reason to wake up with intention. Not just a long-term vision. No, that's not enough. You need to wake up knowing exactly what today demands from you. Because without targets, the hours slip through your fingers. You scroll, you stall, you wander, and suddenly the day is gone. And so is your chance to move your life forward. People talk a lot about motivation, but you don't need more hype. You need a target. You need something real to aim at. Motivation fades, but a target gives your energy direction. If you wake up not knowing what to do, how can you expect results? How can you expect discipline if your mind is still unsure of what matters? You're not tired, you're distracted. And distraction is a symptom of unclear priorities. You need to get serious about setting daily goals. Specific, simple, powerful goals that you can measure. Goals that matter. Not vague ideas like be better or work hard. That doesn't help your mind lock in. You need to be exact. Write it down. Read it out loud. Get your thoughts aligned before the world starts pulling you in every direction. Because if you don't control your focus, someone else will. If you don't lock in on what matters, the day will be filled with what doesn't. And that's how weeks vanish. That's how years pass. That's how potential dies quietly, one distracted day at a time. Now let's talk about the second part. Unwavering focus. That's where people really struggle. Because anyone can set a goal in the morning. But the real test comes when life interrupts. When your phone pings. When someone asks for your time. When your energy dips. That's when most people give up. They shift their attention to whatever is loudest. But the loudest thing isn't always the most important. And if you live by distractions, you will never build anything lasting. You have to train your mind to stay locked in. That's a skill, that's a muscle. And like any muscle, it gets stronger through use. So start small. Give yourself 60 minutes a day with no interruptions, no phone, no social media, no multitasking. Just one target, one clear action, one step forward. If you can do that for 60 minutes, you'll start to feel control again. That's when the progress becomes visible. That's when the days start to mean something. Clarity creates urgency. When your goal is specific and today-based, it starts to matter more. It's not a someday dream anymore. It's a today mission. And that changes how you show up. You stop wasting time. You stop hesitating. You start building a track record of progress. And that's where confidence grows. Not from hype, not from praise, but from knowing you did what you said you'd do. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a day. You can change everything if you own today. You can shift your finances. You can change your health. You can rebuild your identity. But it starts with one focused day, and then another, and then another. That's how you create momentum. That's how you become someone different. Not because you wish to, but because you're building the habits of someone who wins. And make no mistake, focus is not about doing more. It's about doing less, better. The people who get results are not doing everything. They're doing the few things that actually matter. They cut the noise. They say no to what distracts. They stop chasing everything. And they commit deeply to what moves the needle. You have to ask yourself, what are the 3 things that if I completed them today would move my life forward? Then go do them. Block everything else out. Protect that time like your future depends on it, because it does. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And your system starts with how you plan your day. Don't just leave it to chance. Design your day. Take 10 minutes every morning to write down your goals. Be clear. Be specific. Be honest. Ask yourself, if I was serious about changing my life, what would I do today? And then do that. Not what's easy, not what's convenient, what matters. And understand this, your brain is not built for constant focus. You're not a machine. You're human. So use your energy wisely. Focus in short bursts. Take breaks. Don't burn out trying to be perfect. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. One clear target, one focused effort. Every day. Stack those days. That's the formula. Most people never get what they want because they never really decide what they want. They keep their goals vague, their schedules messy, their focus scattered. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Clarity is a choice. Focus is a choice. Discipline is a choice. These aren't talents, they're habits. And you build them one decision at a time. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to figure out everything today. You just have to set one clear target and chase it with everything you've got. Show up when you're tired. Work when you don't feel like it. Keep your word when no one's watching. And by the end of the day, win or lose, you'll respect yourself more. And self-respect, that's the fuel. That's what keeps you coming back tomorrow. You want results? You want a life you're proud of? Then stop waiting for motivation. Stop chasing shortcuts. Start setting daily targets, clear ones, specific ones, and hit them with laser focus. Because your goals aren't going to chase you back. You either pursue them with focus or you watch them fade. And it happens fast. Every day you drift is a day you lose ground. But every day you lock in, every day you take ownership, you build something solid. This is your time. Take control of it. Set your target. Focus your mind. And don't stop until the job is done. Not because it's easy, not because it's perfect, but because your future is worth fighting for. So decide today to live with intention. Decide today to focus like your life depends on it. Because it does. Number 6, challenge yourself each morning to rise above old habits. Every morning is a test to see if you will stay the same or rise above the person you used to be. The hardest part of change is not the action. It's the decision. It's looking in the mirror and telling yourself that today you're going to be stronger than your excuses. That today you're not going to let comfort pull you back into what's familiar. Most people don't fail because they don't have talent. Most people fail because they refuse to challenge what's already routine. They wake up and fall into the same patterns they've followed for years. And then they wonder why nothing feels different. Your old habits are always waiting for you. They don't need effort. They don't resist you. In fact, they welcome you with open arms. Hit snooze one more time, skip the workout again. Stay quiet when you should speak. Procrastinate just a little longer. The old version of you is never in short supply. It's always there, whispering the easy way out. That's why you need a real challenge each morning. Not a dramatic one, a personal one. Something that pushes you 1 inch higher than yesterday. Because if you want a new life, you need to act like someone who doesn't tolerate the old one. That shift doesn't happen randomly. It happens on purpose. It happens by standing up to the pull of your patterns and saying, not today. You don't need a complete reinvention. You need a clear commitment. One honest moment in the morning where you say, I will not repeat what holds me back. The morning is your opportunity to lead yourself before the world gets noisy, before the emails, before the expectations, before the pressure. In that quiet space, you have power. You have the freedom to choose what kind of person you're going to be. But here's the thing. If you don't claim that time, it gets claimed for you. If you don't step forward with intention, you get pulled backward by routine. Old habits don't break by accident. They break by resistance, by tension, by effort. And if you're waiting to feel ready to fight those habits, you'll be waiting forever. Change starts with a small battle, repeated daily. When the alarm goes off and your body says stay in bed, but your mind says get up and move. When your mood says take it easy, but your mission says show up anyway. Those tiny decisions shape your future more than big promises ever will. You've got to stop giving your old self the benefit of the doubt. You've got to stop letting past behavior decide future action. You are not who you were. You're who you decide to be right now. That means stop carrying yesterday's laziness into today. Stop dragging yesterday's doubt into this morning's goals. Start fresh. Make the conscious choice to act with strength before the old habits even get a chance to speak. The truth is, every day is a vote for the kind of life you want. Your habits are the ballot. And most people are voting for comfort, for safety, for ease, without even realizing it. But ease doesn't give you pride. Comfort doesn't build confidence. Repeating what you've already done doesn't change anything. You've got to challenge it. You've got to wake up and say, if I want something different, I need to do something different. And this is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about proving to yourself one step at a time that you are not stuck. You are not limited to what you've always done. You are capable of outgrowing yourself. You are capable of building new patterns. The discomfort you feel when you challenge an old habit, that's not weakness. That's growth. That's transformation happening in real time. Start small. One habit, one change. Wake up and make your bed. Go for a walk before breakfast. Read 5 pages of a book that fuels your mind. Write down your goals in a notebook. Choose something meaningful, something that challenges your old rhythm. Then repeat it tomorrow, and again the day after that. You're not just doing tasks. You're proving to your subconscious mind that you are in charge now, that the old version of you doesn't make decisions anymore. The beautiful thing about challenging yourself each morning is that it sets the tone for everything else. You're not just crossing off a habit. You're building a foundation. You're creating momentum. And when you feel that momentum, you start acting differently. You speak with more certainty. You carry yourself with more strength. You begin to look in the mirror and feel proud of what you see, not because you're perfect, but because you're improving. You're no longer reacting to life. You're designing it. But you have to understand this. Your habits are not just behaviors. They are beliefs in motion. When you wake up and do the same lazy things, you reinforce the idea that you're not strong enough to change. But when you wake up and push past what's easy, you start to believe in your own power again. And belief is everything. Belief is what gives you the courage to try, the strength to keep going, and the resilience to keep rising even when it's hard. You're not locked into your past. You're not defined by what you've always done, but you are shaped by what you choose today. And today matters more than ever. Don't let another morning slip by under the control of comfort. Take it back, own it. Push yourself to rise just a little higher. Get uncomfortable. Feel the resistance and lean into it. Because that's the signal. That's the proof you're on the right path. You don't need more time. You need more intention. You need to stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline. Discipline to rise. Discipline to act. Discipline to choose progress over patterns. And when you do, day after day, you'll look back and realize the old version of you is long gone. Replaced not by luck or by magic, but by daily challenges that built a new identity. One small decision at a time. So here's your call to action. Starting tomorrow, challenge yourself to rise above one habit that no longer serves you. Pick one, make it clear, make it non-negotiable, and repeat it until you don't need to force it anymore, until it becomes who you are, until the old version of you has no place left to live. Because that's how real change begins, with one choice made over and over until you've built a life that reflects your strength, not your comfort. Number 7, fuel your body with energy-boosting foods and movement. If your energy is low, your dreams don't stand a chance. You can have ambition, goals, drive, but if your body can't keep up, none of it will matter. The truth is, success doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your body. If you want to fight for the life you dream of, you need fuel. Not just motivation, not just willpower. Real fuel. Energy that doesn't crash after an hour. Strength that carries you through the day. You don't get that from skipping meals, chugging caffeine, or sitting still. You get that from discipline, what you put into your body and what you do with it every single day. Most people don't realize how much their physical energy is holding them back. They think they're tired because life is hard, but often they're tired because their habits are draining them. They eat food that slows them down, they sit too long, they move too little, and then they wonder why their mind feels foggy, why their moods swing, why they can't stay consistent. It's not just mindset, it's biology. Your body is the machine that carries your vision forward. If you treat it like an afterthought, it will betray you when you need it most. You can't build a strong life with a weak body. You can't chase goals with a system that's constantly running on empty. You've got to get intentional about how you feed yourself. And I don't mean complicated diets or impossible routines. I mean choosing real, whole foods that give you life instead of taking it from you. I mean skipping the quick fixes and fueling up with what your body actually recognizes. Fruits, vegetables, protein, water, movement. That's not hype. That's the foundation. Think about it. When you eat processed junk all day, you don't just feel tired. You feel slow. You feel unmotivated. That's not a coincidence. That's your body reacting to the garbage it's trying to process. The bloating, the crashing, the mood swings, it all affects your ability to think clearly, act decisively, and stay inspired. On the other hand, when you fuel yourself with clean, energizing foods, you feel sharper, you're more alert, your mood stabilizes. You move through your day with intention instead of dragging yourself from one task to the next. And movement is just as powerful. I'm not talking about becoming a bodybuilder. I'm talking about getting your body in motion. A walk around the block, stretching first thing in the morning, breaking a sweat with a quick workout. Movement sends a signal to your brain. We are awake. We are alive. We are not sitting in yesterday's patterns. When you move your body, you shift your state. You shake off stress. You create momentum. You don't need 2 hours at the gym. You need commitment. Something consistent that reminds your body and your brain, we're not sitting still anymore. And here's where it gets real. Most people don't respect the connection between their energy and their goals. They say they want more in life, but they don't fuel like it. They say they're ready to change, but they still eat like they don't care. And then they wonder why they burn out halfway through. You've got to match your vision with your habits. If your dream is strong, your fuel has to be stronger. You need energy that lasts. You need stamina that holds up when the day gets hard. You need a body that supports the life you're trying to build. And don't underestimate how much emotional power lives in your physical state. When you feel strong, you act confident. When your body feels clean, your mind feels clear. You stop second guessing. You stop hesitating. You start trusting yourself again. Energy changes everything, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. You feel like you can handle what life throws at you. You show up with fire. You execute instead of overthinking. If you're struggling with motivation, check your fuel. If you're struggling with focus, check your movement. If you're struggling with consistency, check your habits, because your energy level is often the missing link. When you get that right, everything else becomes easier. Not easy, easier. More possible. More within reach. Don't let another day go by where you treat your health like a side project. This is your life we're talking about. Your dreams deserve a body that's strong enough to carry them. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Start small. Start simple. Swap one bad meal for a clean one. Drink water before your coffee. Take 5 minutes to stretch in the morning. Go outside and feel the sun on your face. Breathe deeper. Move your body. Build momentum. You'll be shocked how much power is waiting underneath the fatigue you've accepted as normal. And don't wait until burnout forces you to change. Choose to change now, while you're still standing. Take your energy back. Build it. Guard it. Respect it. Because once you do, you'll be able to think clearer, move faster, work smarter, and live with more intensity. You'll stop dragging through the day and start driving through it. You were never meant to crawl toward your goals. You were meant to charge toward them on fire, with strength in your body and clarity in your mind. But it starts with fuel. Not just motivation. Fuel. Real energy from real food. Real movement that wakes you up and lifts you higher. Make that your new standard. Here's your challenge. For the next week, pick one part of your fuel to upgrade. One. Maybe it's eating a clean breakfast every day. Maybe it's moving your body for 20 minutes. Maybe it's cutting out sugar or increasing your water intake. Whatever it is, make it count. Do it with discipline. Do it like your dreams depend on it, because they do. Watch what happens when you give your body what it's been craving all along. Watch how your fire comes back. Watch how your life begins to move forward again. You don't need more energy drinks. You need more integrity with your fuel. You need to live like someone who's preparing for something great, because you are. Start today. Choose your energy. Protect your energy and give your dreams the body they deserve to live in. Number 8, feel the surge of pride as you conquer challenges. The moment you conquer something that once terrified you, your soul wakes up and you finally feel alive. That feeling isn't just pride. It's proof. Proof that you are not the same person you used to be. Proof that all the pain, all the doubt, all the days you felt like quitting were worth it. Because you didn't just survive the challenge, you overcame it. And that moment, that surge of power inside your chest when you realize you've done something you once thought was impossible, that's the kind of pride no one can hand you. You have to earn it. You have to suffer for it. You have to show up for it, even when every excuse tries to talk you out of it. Every single time you take on a challenge and push through, you're building something deeper than confidence. You're building trust with yourself. That's the foundation of pride. It's not arrogance. It's not ego. It's knowing deep down, I did that. And no matter what else falls apart in life, you carry that with you. Nobody can steal that away from you. That kind of victory rewires your identity. It changes how you see yourself. You go from being someone who hesitates to someone who acts. You go from being someone who hides from difficulty to someone who seeks it out just to see what you're made of. That shift is everything. Because most people run from challenge. They avoid hard conversations. Big goals, early mornings, tough workouts, and real accountability. And they think they're protecting themselves. But what they're really doing is stealing that surge of pride from their future. They're robbing themselves of the exact breakthrough they need to grow. You don't become stronger by staying safe. You become stronger by walking into resistance, facing what scares you, and deciding you're not leaving until you've mastered it. Think about a time in your life when you wanted to quit, but didn't. Think about the version of you that showed up, pushed through, and refused to be defeated. That version of you is still there. It never left. It just needs to be reawakened. And the way you bring it back is by facing a challenge today. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Today. Even if it's small. Even if it's uncomfortable. Especially if it's uncomfortable. Because the secret is this. The harder the challenge, the deeper the pride. When you do what's easy, you might feel relieved. But when you do what's hard, you feel proud. Pride is earned in silence. It's earned when no one is watching. It's earned when you show up for yourself in moments that feel impossible. That's where character is built. That's where courage is tested. That's where transformation happens. You'll never forget the days you fought through something and came out stronger. You'll never forget the nights you cried but kept going. You'll never forget the mornings you didn't want to rise but did anyway. That's the feeling we're after. That's the kind of pride that fills you with power. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. The truth is, the challenges in your life are not your enemy. They are your opportunity. They are your invitation to become someone you've never been before. To rise above your limits. To rewrite the story you've been telling yourself for years. And every time you conquer one, you prove that you are more than your excuses. You prove that your past doesn't define you. You prove that your best days are not behind you. They're ahead of you, waiting to be claimed. And the most powerful part, every challenge you overcome inspires someone else. Whether you see it or not, your discipline speaks louder than your words. Your effort shows others what's possible. Your pride becomes a torch. Someone out there is watching you and silently deciding not to give up because you didn't. That's legacy. That's impact. That's leadership. So if you're tired, good. That means you're doing something that matters. If you're scared, good. That means you're growing. If you're overwhelmed, perfect. That means you're stretching beyond your limits. But whatever you do, don't back down. Don't hide. Don't settle. Because you're one challenge away from a breakthrough. You're one push away from a new version of yourself. You're one victory away from feeling that electric rush of pride that only comes when you refuse to be defeated. It's easy to play small. It's easy to stay comfortable. But it's not rewarding. It doesn't light your soul on fire. It doesn't change your life. The real reward is on the other side of the resistance. The real you is waiting there. The powerful you, the bold you, the version of you that walks with purpose, speaks with confidence, and acts without fear. That version of you is not found in your comfort zone. It's found in the fire. And once you taste that pride, once you feel what it's like to overcome, you'll never go back. You'll seek out the next challenge, not to prove something to others, but to prove something to yourself. That you are capable, that you are disciplined, that you are not here to live halfway. You are here to grow, to lead, to conquer. So now it's your turn. Look at the challenge in front of you, not with dread, but with excitement. It's not your punishment. It's your proving ground. And when you rise to meet it, you won't just feel proud. You'll feel unstoppable. You'll feel alive. And that feeling will stay with you long after the challenge is over. Start now. Choose the hard path. Do the thing you've been avoiding. Face it head on. Because when you do, everything begins to change. You won't just win, you'll evolve. And that's the kind of victory that lasts forever. Number 9, surround yourself with positive people who inspire higher standards. The fastest way to rise is to stop walking with people who are content with crawling. If you've ever wondered why your progress feels slow, why your dreams seem distant, why your motivation fades too quickly, it's time to look around. Who's standing next to you? Who's speaking into your life? Because whether you see it or not, your environment is either lifting you higher or holding you down. The people you spend time with are shaping your future. Their habits are becoming your habits. Their language is sinking into your thoughts. Their energy is either feeding your fire or suffocating it. And the truth is, no matter how strong you are, no one can outrun the influence of their circle. Think back to the moments you felt most alive, most driven, most ambitious. Were you alone? Or were you in the presence of someone who saw something greater in you? Someone who called out your potential without apology? Someone who challenged you, not because they doubted you, but because they believed in your power. That's what the right people do. They don't let you settle. They don't let you play small. They don't comfort your excuses. They confront them. And you need those people in your life. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. We all need mirrors. We all need reminders. We all need energy that matches our goals. It's not enough to have dreams. You need voices around you that reinforce those dreams when your mind starts to question them. You need people who make you feel like anything is possible, not because they hype you up, but because they live at that level themselves. Their standards raise yours. Their consistency makes you uncomfortable with laziness. Their discipline becomes contagious. And before you even realize it, your mindset shifts. Your behaviors align. Your life upgrades, not because of willpower alone, but because you chose better company. But here's the hard part. To welcome that kind of influence, you may have to let go of some familiar faces. And that's not easy. It's painful to outgrow people who were once close to you. It's difficult to create distance from those who helped you survive your lowest moments. But survival and success are not the same. Just because someone was part of your past doesn't mean they deserve a seat in your future. If their presence keeps you stuck, if their mindset pulls you back into old patterns, if their attitude drains your hope instead of fueling it, it's time to shift. This isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. You get one life, one shot to become everything you were designed to be. And you cannot waste that energy babysitting mediocrity. You cannot sacrifice your potential to make someone else comfortable. If they truly care about you, they'll rise with you. If not, they were only meant to be a chapter, not the whole story. When you surround yourself with people who demand more from themselves, you automatically start demanding more from yourself. You start dressing differently, thinking differently, speaking differently, walking differently. Not because you're pretending, but because you're becoming. You're evolving. You're stepping into the standard that matches your future. And once you taste that environment, once you feel what it's like to be supported by warriors, builders, leaders, you'll never settle for anything less. Imagine waking up every day to people who celebrate your discipline, people who challenge your thinking, people who ask you about your goals, not your gossip, people who hold you accountable, not because they're judging you, but because they refuse to watch you waste your gift. That's the circle you need. That's the energy that transforms lives. That's the tribe that rewrites your future. And you don't have to wait for it. You can build it. Start becoming the person you want to attract. Elevate your habits. Sharpen your mindset. Commit to the standard. And you'll find that the right people are drawn to you, not by accident, but by alignment. Excellence attracts excellence. Ambition recognizes ambition. Leaders find each other when they refuse to hide. So take a hard look at your circle. Ask yourself, do they make you better or make you busy? Do they sharpen your focus or blur your vision? Do they remind you of who you were or who you're becoming? Be honest, because the quality of your life is directly connected to the quality of the people you walk with. If they don't push you, they'll pull you. If they don't inspire you, they'll infect you. And if they don't raise your standard, they'll lower your worth. But when you do find the right circle, protect it, nourish it, show up for it. Because relationships like that are rare and they're worth everything. A true friend won't let you settle. A true mentor won't let you coast. A true leader won't let you forget who you are in moments of doubt. And that kind of support is more valuable than any motivational quote or online course. It's real. It's personal. It's powerful. You don't need an army. You just need a few people who believe in you so deeply that quitting becomes impossible. Who challenge you so relentlessly that excuses lose their grip. Who remind you day after day that your potential is not up for debate. That's how legacies are built. That's how standards are raised. That's how transformation becomes permanent. So don't wait for the right people to show up. Become the kind of person who naturally attracts them. Speak truth. Live with purpose. Lead with discipline. And watch your circle change. Watch your confidence rise. Watch your life accelerate. Because the moment you stop settling for average company, you start building an extraordinary future. And the pride that comes from that is unmatched. Now go. Raise your standard. Audit your circle. Seek out the voices that make you uncomfortable with staying the same. And when you find them, don't just listen. Run with them. Rise with them. Grow with them. Your future deserves nothing less. Number 10. Celebrate every milestone loudly to keep motivation burning bright. Your victories deserve a spotlight because every win, no matter how small, is the fuel that powers the fire inside you to keep moving forward. Imagine for a moment the thrill of crossing a finish line, not the marathon you've dreamed about for years, but the first step you took this morning toward a better version of yourself. That first phone call you made to chase an opportunity. That extra 10 minutes you spent learning instead of scrolling. So often, we rush past these moments, brushing them off like they're insignificant. But what if each of these tiny victories was a reason to celebrate? What if every milestone, no matter how modest, was a signal flare that kept your motivation blazing? You see, motivation isn't a constant. It's a flickering flame that needs tending. Without deliberate celebration, that flame dims. The problem is not in your ambition or your goals. It's in how you recognize progress. When you fail to acknowledge the steps you've taken, your mind starts to believe the effort isn't worth it. It whispers lies that the journey is too long, the goal's too distant. But when you celebrate, you rewrite the narrative. You train your brain to recognize achievement. You create emotional momentum that propels you forward with greater force. Think of motivation like a muscle. If you never flex it, it weakens. Celebration is the flexing. When you shout your successes, when you savor them deeply, you build resilience. You create a feedback loop of positivity. This isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about honoring the effort, recognizing growth, and embedding a sense of accomplishment into your identity. Every time you celebrate, you're reinforcing the belief that you are capable, you are growing, you are winning. But how often do you catch yourself waiting for the big win? That promotion, that sale, that major breakthrough, before you allow yourself to feel proud. The problem is that these big wins are rare and unpredictable. Waiting for them is a trap. Instead, you must make a habit of celebrating the small wins, the daily victories that build the foundation for those major triumphs. Writing one page of your book, waking up early even when it's hard, saying no to distractions, finishing that workout you wanted to skip. These are the victories that shape your future. Remember, the journey to success is a collection of small victories stacked day after day. And each of these deserves acknowledgement. When you take time to celebrate your milestones, you send a message to your subconscious that progress matters. You make success real and tangible. That feeling of pride, excitement, and fulfillment becomes addictive. And soon you crave more progress just to feel that rush again. Celebration also bridges the gap between effort and reward. When you honor your wins, you create a rhythm in your life that balances hard work with joy. This balance is critical because it prevents burnout. It reminds you that success isn't just about the destination, but also about the joy found in the climb. Your victories become markers of your story, evidence of your growth, and proof that you are on the right path. Here's a secret. When you celebrate loudly, you're not just motivating yourself, you're inspiring others. Your enthusiasm becomes contagious. It ripples out and encourages those around you to recognize their own wins. Suddenly, you're part of a movement of progress and possibility, where every milestone is a reason to cheer and every challenge a chance to triumph. Don't underestimate the power of acknowledgement. Take a moment right now to reflect on something you've accomplished recently. Maybe you pushed through a tough day. Maybe you completed a task you've been avoiding. Maybe you simply showed up when you didn't want to. Now, how does that make you feel? That surge of pride, that spark of energy. That's the exact feeling you need to cultivate regularly. Celebration can be as simple as writing down your achievements, sharing your success with a trusted friend, or treating yourself to something meaningful. It's about creating rituals that honor your progress and signal to your brain that you're winning. These rituals don't have to be grand, they just have to be consistent. By consciously marking your milestones, you create a life full of moments worth remembering. Instead of feeling exhausted by your journey, you feel energized. Instead of doubting your path, you feel confident. Instead of waiting for happiness to come after success, you find joy in every step you take. So here's your call to action. Starting today, make it a rule to celebrate every win, big or small. Share your progress loudly with yourself and others. Record it. Revel in it. Let your victories light up your world and fuel your determination. Because when motivation flickers, celebration is the torch that keeps your fire burning bright. Embrace the power of recognition, the thrill of accomplishment, and the momentum of joy. Celebrate your journey and watch as your motivation transforms from a fleeting feeling into an unstoppable force. Your story deserves to be celebrated. Your progress demands it, and your future depends on it.